YouTube. I saw the trailer. We're going to talk about Walking Dead today because this is a good subject to actually go on. As I saw something last night on the 999 Gaming, and I am just thrown off of this. I am so thrown off of this TV show right now. Okay, I'm gonna get into this right now because this is a lot to talk about, and this could be a long video. But I had some scenarios, but seeing how Rick dies, it showed it on 999 Gaming, and it said that it looked like a whisper, because it didn't look. It had a stitched up eye. It had around the final scene of Rick's death scene. It showed some crazy shit. It didn't look like a walker. It looked like a human being stitched up face. The whispers were supposed to be stitched up zombies to blend in to attack. And the way I looked at it, on what I want to say, the comics, they dress up like walkers. They're alive. They're human. They'll slash your head off. Pretty much, that's what whispers are like. I'm gonna go through this because I saw the Walking Dead official trailer for 9, and I gotta say, it looked good, but it didn't enthuse me on it. I saw Maggie's baby. Maggie had her baby. It showed her lifting the baby up. It showed a lot on season 9 trailer. They showed too much, but they didn't show a lot of it. But I do know that the guy did say that there's gonna be a whisper thing where they're blended into that group. That whole fucking group that they have, they blend into it and backstab the group. So it's going to be a lot to look for, maybe more action. I was thrown off of last season where Negan didn't die. You would think, for one thing, there's a reason they keep him alive. But I could see Negan taking over after Rick's death. They set this up. Negan, this is my theory of The Walking Dead. He gets on, he breaks. Negan's not himself. He becomes normal. He becomes on their side. He becomes still savage. Still a badass character. They need that for the next coming Whisper War. So, if Negan actually sees the dream of Negan, that dream where he was smiling hello, darling, and you saw him just smiling like a happy-go-lucky guy after he got his anger out, after he got the loss of his wife out, after the loss of his girlfriend or wife. I think that was late wife. I guess he was so angered of it that he just went on a killing spree and just started killing everyone. And that's why he was the way he was. That's why his character took off the way it was. It's setting itself up. This storyline is setting itself up. Just because Rick dies, the show ain't over. Rick will die in this season. So, don't be surprised if he doesn't. They capture him. They capture him. I believe Rick's gonna go off. They're gonna capture him, and that's gonna be it until probably the end of more episodes. Maybe Rick doesn't die, because you think about it, the Whisperers wouldn't just chop his head off and just stay a statement that the leaders did. No, you wouldn't do that. You capture him and say, you know what, we're in charge here. We're boss. And then Negan steps up and sees Rick's fucking held captive. It could go different ways. I have different ways in my head that the show can go. The show is just, I don't know. It's just so, you don't know which way it goes. And that's the beauty of it, where you're just okay, you keep looking at the spoilers, you keep looking at everything online that could be false. I don't know why people do it. that Rick doesn't need to die in 9. Maybe he dies in 10. We don't know. Honestly, Kirkman says he won't survive this season, the first few episodes. But you don't know. He could be taking a break. They could capture him. He could just go off the show, come back in season 10, say I was captured, I went through hell, and he looks fucking old and gray. It could go that way. There's so many scenarios I'd have to say on this show. And it just keeps getting and building a new villain, and that's what I'm getting sick and tired of. Stop building new... Robert Kirkman, stop fucking building new villains. It's getting old. The story is getting old. It's the same old shit. You see the next group. Boom. It just keeps going. It doesn't matter if they get worse. It don't matter if they're like, cut your head off in a slightly heartbeat. It doesn't matter. Negan was ruthless. That was enough for The Walking Dead. I can't even go over this because it kind of makes me mad how they do the storyline. They should do a storyline where it's based off of seeing the community together and then maybe having a war between themselves just to figure shit out. Maybe that's another way they can go with the story. Story's just getting old with new villains. I don't know what it is, but I think that's why everyone's dropping off. No, Daryl will not be the new leader. Fuck Daryl. I don't even like him. Norman Reedus does not have leadership role in The Walking Dead at all. So don't ever think that. It would be Negan before Daryl. Or be Maggie before Daryl. I can see Maggie doing it. But the attitude she showed in 8 makes me think maybe she's out to defeat the same people that she's on fucking sides with because they didn't kill Negan. I don't know. This is going to be interesting how the story would build. But they better make it good enough for me to watch. Just like someone just said, I might not even watch it. I just heard yesterday, I might not even watch it after this season. Well, you know what? If it goes the way I think it's going to go, no one's going to be watching it. Except for people that think, oh yeah, it's going to get good. No. It was even good when it was like slow back in like season 1. It was still good because they were developing stories on the characters. Now if they bring new characters in, and that might make new storylines and maybe better. And seeing maybe, I saw maybe in that trailer 4 new characters. 4 new characters, at least that, joining their group. But I don't know which way it's going to go, but I know Ezekiel's supposed to get his head cut off by Alpha, maybe not this season, but next. And Rosita, in the comics, it shows her head being decapitated, which I don't mind Rosita's a bitch, and I don't like that type woman. She should have died, in my opinion, she should have died instead of, what's her name, that turned into a zombie and attacked Negan. She should have died instead of... what her name is. It's been so long since she's been on the show. That happened in season 7. I forget the name. She should have went in instead of the other one and then captured Sasha. Yes. Sasha. There. Yes. Rosita should have died instead of Sasha. Sasha's more of a badass. Yes. That's how I think of it. That's sad. Rosita's like Two-Faced too. I've seen in the TV show. I've seen that throughout the TV show. She could be Two-Faced. She was actually on Spencer's side, it seemed like. She wanted to do what Spencer wanted to do, but she was arguing with him. But then again, it went that way. So I actually thought Negan would be saving Rick, and it actually showed good remorse to the group, and maybe add him on there. But I seen him in the cage talking to Rick, saying, I hope you see what you did whenever this all goes down. That's what he says. So I'm guessing maybe the Saviors betray Rick's group. Maybe it could happen, a civil war. That could happen at first. All I know is Gregory dies in the first episode, and I don't mind that death. I don't think anyone does. But he was due at least a season ago, maybe a season when he was prisoner in that, the prisoner thing. He was due already. But Other than that, it should be good. It's crazy. But I'm gonna let this go. It's already going on 10 minutes. I'm talking. Alright, peace, y'all. Just give me your comments below on what you think. Alright, later.